Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and the Steam Summer Sale has kicked off, and you know what that means? A lot of great game deals under the prices of $10, $5. We already did an under $5 video. Now, it's time for an under $3 video, but guess what? We're not gonna go under $2 since your boy needs content, and the under $2 games will be a separate video, so we'll get to that when we get to it, but we're gonna try to hit all of these, and guess what? There's enough games in every price threshold that we could be here for eons and eons and still be covering games. I know you guys have backlogs that'll, keep you busy till you're 300 years of age, but why not increase that backlog till you're 400 years of age? So, let's get right into it, and let's kick things off with Bastion, which is 80% off for $2.99. Now, these days, Supergiant Games gets a lot of attention for Hades, and rightfully so. Hades is tremendous, but Bastion is the game that put them on the map. It was one of those early Xbox arcade games that really showcased that, hey, these downloadable titles are nothing to mess with. They can be pretty damn good, and Bastion ended up being really damn good. Now, I wouldn't say that the gameplay is anything revolutionary, but from an art style standpoint, a narration standpoint, I think those elements are done incredibly well in Bastion, and for $2.99, I think this is a great pickup, would certainly recommend it, and one of those games that I imagine a lot of you guys don't really know about, especially if you're a bit younger, considering it came out in 2011, and it was a lower key release, relatively lower key release back then, but yeah, for $2.99, great pickup there. Next up, another awesome pickup, we've got Frostpunk, 90% off for $2.99. Now, this is the base Frostpunk game, so keep that in mind. Unfortunately, Frostpunk 2 has been delayed until, I believe, the fall. But Frostpunk 1 is still a worthwhile game to play. It's a very emotionally gripping survival game and a city builder where you have to make decisions that'll actually be like, I don't know which direction to go. 11-Bit Studios seems to do a really good job in tackling, like, the morality aspect within video games, and they do a really good job at that. Visually, it's great, and if you're into city builders, one that you'll probably really enjoy. For $2.99, a good pickup there. Next up, a classic from Ubisoft. We have Far Cry 3, 85% off for $2.99. Now, Far Cry 1 and 2 were pretty good games, but Far Cry 3 really put Far Cry on the map to an even wider audience. I think a lot of people really enjoyed Far Cry 3. Visually, even a decade plus after its release, it holds up fairly well. Incredible main antagonist in the game. Gameplay is solid, quite a bit of content. I know it's a Ubisoft game, so you gotta go through Ubisoft Connect, and they do know multiplayer and online features are no longer available for this product, but you're mainly picking it up for the single-player component, and that is very well done for $2.99. Certainly a great deal for Far Cry 3. Next up, we got Borderlands 2, 85% off for $3 flat. This is the base game. Ideally, I would probably recommend you to get the Game of the Year edition with all the other bonus content, but the base game still offers a lot to like, and guess what? I was about to say I paid $60 for this game back in the day, but I actually didn't. I got this game free with my GTX 660 Ti. How about that? A throwback there. They were bundling in Borderlands 2 with 660 Ti's back in the day, but Borderlands 2 is absolutely tremendous, and if you don't want to pay the $7 and change for the Game of the Year edition, the base game for $3 is still a great pickup. Visuals still hold up well, and in my opinion, Borderlands 2 is the absolute pinnacle of the Borderlands franchise. I wasn't as crazy about Borderlands 3. Thought it was a fine game, didn't think it was bad or anything like that, but Borderlands 2 was really where it was at for me. So for $2.99, I think this is an awesome pickup. Next up, we got Undertale, which is 75% off for $2.49. Certainly not an RPG for everyone, very much a throwback, and I'll often see comparisons that people draw towards something like an Earthbound. Visually, certainly a throwback as well. You're talking your Super Nintendo RPGs are being harkened back to, but narratively, I feel like it's pretty compelling and tackles some pretty interesting and darker thematics as well, which maybe on the surface level, you wouldn't see that out of Undertale, but once you play it, you really do get that. Reason it's got 204,000 reviews and 96% positive, one of the best received Steam games of all time, and a 92 on Metacritic as well for $2.49. If you're into throwback RPGs, definitely a good buy there. Speaking of older RPGs, Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition is 90% off for $2.99. I'd be remiss if I don't mention this. This is a phenomenal deal. Now, the unfortunate thing is that Dragon Age 1 does not have controller support, so keep that in mind. I get it that you know, if you grew up playing a game like Dragon Age Origins back in the day, you'd be like, why would you even want to play this game with a controller? But Steam Deck being as popular as it is, portable PC gaming platforms, and then also people just wanting to play games with controllers, that is a little bit of a bummer. It would be nice if it got patched into it. I know you can like mod in controller support and nonsense like that, but Dragon Age Origins, the thing is, it was designed in a different way for PC versus the console counterpart, and it very much is a PC-centric title. But yeah, this is BioWare at their absolute pinnacle. I often say BioWare is absolutely washed, quite possibly one of the most washed studios of all time, in terms of, their game quality back in the day versus now, and Rocksteady is up there with them. But Dragon Age Origins had a lot of depth to its gameplay, great narrative. For $2.99, you get the Awakening expansion as well. What a tremendous deal. Easy recommendation there. Next up, another game from Ubisoft, your guys' and my favorite publisher. We have Watch Dogs 1. It is 85% off for $2.99. Now, Watch Dogs 1 is a very interesting game to look at, given that this is a game with an immense amount of hype and anticipation. I think people were really expecting Watch Dogs 1 to become another Assassin's Creed level IP for Ubisoft, and that really never panned out. Watch Dogs 1 was seen by many as a bit of a disappointment. I would say that the game still offers a lot to like, and there's a mod for the game called The Living City that does improve it quite a bit, so check that out. But even if you just play the base game, $2.99 for it, I do think is a good deal. And a decade after its initial release, which is wild saying that, but I think nowadays if you go into the game, you're going into it with a different expectation level, and if you do that, you might end up having a really good time with it. And the game itself is a well done open world game. Love the premise of the game. Just thought they fumbled really hard with Watch Dogs Legion, but what can you do? Not everything can be a home run. It is what it is, but for $2.99, Watch Dogs, one great price point here. Next up, we got Hellblade Senua Sacrifice, 90% off for $2.99. Very much a shorter action title, atmospheric, psychological, very much darker in tone. Hellblade 2 did just drop. The issue is, that game, either you play it on Game Pass and, you enjoy it on Game Pass, or you wait for a deep discount on it, because $50 for that game, not worth it, and very much you should play Hellblade 1 and 2 sequentially. Hellblade 1, also a fairly short game, but it released at a $30 budget price, and right now it's $2.99, which is a great price point for it. Visually, still looks fantastic, and narratively pretty compelling as well. Done by Ninja Theory, they've done a lot of great titles, and for $2.99, Hellblade Senua Saga is a great pickup. Next up, we got Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings, 85% off for $2.99. Now, talked about Witcher 3 being on sale for $3.99, and yes, that's a tremendous deal. Witcher 2 for $2.99 is still fantastic, you guys. Yes, it came out 13 years ago at this point, but visually and gameplay-wise, it does hold up fairly well. I would say much better than Witcher 1. Witcher 2 is still a worthwhile game to go through. Definitely not the big open world that Witcher 3 is, very much more contained, but still a worthwhile game. Visually, again, looks great. Gameplay is solid. You can play the game with a controller, although, the controller support is fine. It released on the Xbox 360 as well, so controller support is to be expected, but $2.99 for it, pretty good price point there, and I would say pick it up, especially if Witcher 3 is the only one you play. Circle back and play Witcher 2. You're probably going to have some fun with it. Next up, Sleeping Dogs, the Definitive Edition, 85% off for $2.99. Look, I recommend this game ad nauseum. It is absolutely tremendous. It was one of the most underrated games of its era. I want to say it came out back in 2013, and loved the game right when it came out, played it right when it came out, and I was blown away by it. A great main character, sizable amount of content. People will say it's GTA in Hong Kong, really is much more than that, and isn't really that similar to GTA outside of it being an open world crime focused title, but more of a focus on the hand-to-hand combat, which is really well done, and overall soundtrack is really good, story is good. Good cast of characters, and again, great main character. $2.99 with all the bonus content, no-brainer there. Next up, we got Middle-earth: Shadow of War. The base game is 95% off for $2.49, which really is highway robbery. A really, really well-done open-world action-adventure title. Certainly would recommend that. If you have yet to check out Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, you can pick up the Shadow Bundle, which includes both Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor and the game's respective DLCs for $6.99. That is a tremendous deal, and that is the route I would recommend if you don't have either game. If you already played through Mordor, check out Shadow War for $2.49. That's a great pickup. Next up, we got XCOM Enemy Unknown, 90% off for $2.99. Would recommend the complete pack, but that's $9.99, which is a little bit hefty of a price point. The base game for $2.99, a good buy here. A really, really well-done tactics game, and a game that I checked out back in, I want to say it was the summer of 2013. I remember playing this over one summer break and getting it on discount and just blown away at how much I enjoyed the game, because tactics games isn't a genre that I typically get into, but I really, really enjoyed XCOM Enemy Unknown. Just thought it was a rewarding, engaging sci-fi tactics title, and it's Firaxis. Firaxis is always going to do a pretty good job, but yeah, I was blown away by how much I enjoyed it. XCOM 2 also is a thing, and XCOM 2 is pretty damn good as well, but XCOM Enemy Unknown, $2.99 for that, quite good. Next up, another genre that I'm not crazy about, but gotta recommend this. Total War Shogun 2, 90% off for $2.99. This is one of those games that I feel like drew some people into PC gaming. I remember seeing like videos of Shogun 2 when I was growing up and being like, holy hell, this game looks incredible. Obviously, it's a turn-based historical RTS that's really, I should say turn-based strategy game, a historical turn-based strategy game. That's really not my genre of choice, but Total War, I feel like if you're into PC gaming, is a franchise you at least have to give a shot to, and Shogun 2, from a setting standpoint, was so great, and I love that setting. You know, it's a little bit older at this point, but for this price point, $2.99, I feel like it's well worth to have in any PC game library. Next up, Shadow Warrior 2, 90% off for $2.99. Great over-the-top action shooter, gory and bloody as all hell. Not a game that you really get into for the narrative, but if you want over-the-top action gameplay, oh, you're gonna get that and then some with Shadow Warrior 2. Just a fantastic experience, and they did have the Shadow Warrior bundle for a little bit for like $7, but looks like that was a price error, and you know, it has shot back up to $28. It is what it is, but Shadow Warrior 1 and 2, they're $2.99 a pop. Shadow Warrior 2, in my opinion, the better game. A definite pickup at this price point of $2.99. And lastly, did y'all think you were gonna get away with it? Y'all think you were gonna get away with some Steam Summer Sale videos without me mentioning Enslaved Odyssey to the West? Oh, you ain't getting away with it. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is 85% off for $2.99. Another game done by Ninja Theory, who developed Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Enslaved, in my opinion, is just a fantastic game from a post-apocalyptic, colorful art setting standpoint. It is so well done. The story is great. At least the story is mostly great until you get, like, towards the tail end of the game. It's not as great. The gameplay is solid, with some platforming, some combat, some puzzles. It's really, really well done in that regard, and a great duo of the main characters in Monkey and Trip. So $2.99 for that. Good pickup there. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals under the price of $3. Links to all of these in the description box below. As always, thank you for watching. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.